Good morning. My name is Philip Porter, and I'm calling on behalf of the Vision Driven Family Institute in Eagan, Minnesota, where dreams are welcome and family visions come true. The Vision Driven Family Institute is a division of Generations Empowerment Enterprises. Getting used to saying our new name, Generation Empowerment Enterprise, was formerly known as Generations United. But during the past few years, our business has grown. We're very excited about all the things that's going on. So now we've expanded and growing. So now we're Generations Empowerment Enterprises. With that said, we got two things we want to cover with everyone today. And hopefully the show today is going to inspire you and motivate you to launch your own family vision or to expand your family vision and actually start taking action and not waiting. So that's the purpose of this show. So anything that we can do in regards to that, that would be great, and we'll be blessed to hopefully to bless you. We're going to cover two things today, and I'm excited today because I'm actually going to have my first guest on the show today. But the two topics we're going to cover is I have 8 great motivating family vision quotes I would like to share. It's just quotes that I use, quotes that I use to stay motivated because all the time you run into some challenges, but God is still good all the time. And I do have various quotes I want to share with you. If they motivate me, keep me encouraged, hopefully they would do you as well. Secondly, we wanted to share with you, this is why I have a special guest today. A couple of years ago, our family made a very, very dramatic, drastic decision in order to make our family vision come true faster, to begin building wealth with our family faster, and to achieve a lot of other things. And sometimes, well, hopefully that you will learn today, sometimes in order to take a giant leap forward, you got to take a giant step, a leap of faith, even though people might say you are crazy. Even people in your own family might say that, but that's a-okay because you got a godly inspired vision that's driving you. So those are the two things we're going to share with you today. And I'm going to start with the 8 motivating quotes that I have. And then secondly, I will be introducing our special guest. So I'm just so excited about that. One of my first quotes that I just love is actually the foundation of our family, our own family vision. And when I read this quote, when you hear the word vision, think in terms of a vision plan, not just a vision statement. And last week we actually talked about the difference between a vision statement and a vision plan. So every time that you hear the word vision, think of the vision plan, because the vision statement and mission statement is just part of your overall vision plan. And hopefully your vision plan, if it's like ours, is a generational plan. So quote number 1. So I'm going to give the quote first and then where I got the quote from. Quote number 1. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And I'm going to read this the second time. So in place of people, we're going to put in family, because this is what our family does. Where there is no vision, the family perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And we get that from the Bible, Proverbs 29 and 18. Proverbs 29 and 18, quote number 1. Quote number 2. When a family does not have a shared vision of the future, it becomes increasingly more challenging to keep the family together. Read that one more time. When a family does not have a shared vision of the future, it becomes increasingly more challenging to keep the family together. And that quote comes from Dr. Kirby Rossplock. And he is the author of the book, The Complete Family Office Handbook, okay, which is designed for is a book for the 1%ers. Quote number 2. Quote number 3. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that read it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So those who always ask him, how long does it take? Go to this quote, and this quote is actually from the Bible, Habakkuk 2, 2 and 3. Habakkuk 2, 2 and 3. Okay? Quote number 3. I love it. Quote number 4. Quote number 4. Before you can be great, you have to be good. Before you can be good, you have to be satisfactory. Before you can be satisfactory, you have to do something. So do something today towards your family vision. Okay? That's one of the quotes one of my mentors, Keith out of Dallas, always said all the time. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm not sure who the quote is by, but it's actually one of my favorite quotes, because every time when a person says, well, we can't do that, we always say, well, you got to start by doing something. Okay? Quote number 4. Quote number 5. Quote number 5. Business ownership can help close the racial wealth gap. Business ownership can help close the racial wealth gap. And that's by Joyce Klein, director of the field at the Aspen Institute, which she wrote in the article January 2017. So if you want more on that, just take a look at that, and it talks about why business ownership is so important, and hopefully it's a part of your own family vision. Quote number 6, home ownership has long been the primary way for families to build wealth in the United States. And that's by the CFED, which is the Corporation of Enterprises Development. Quote number 7, again I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree upon earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them by my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered today in my name, there am I in the midst. Okay, that quote comes from the Bible. That's Matthew 18, 19, and 20. So for everyone who says, how many family members does it take to get my business, to get our family vision started, read Matthew 18, 19, and 20. Quote number 7. All right, the last quote, which if you're following me or friends on Facebook, you would have seen this quote this week. And it's one of my favorite quotes as well. Quote number 8, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Okay, let me read that again. If you want something you never had, you must be willing to do something that you've never done. And that's by Thomas Jefferson. So those are my 8 quotes. Enjoy them. Feel free to take them down as your own and enjoy the family vision journey. Now, moving on, part 2. And as we move into part 2, we want to share with you what our family has actually done that actually has made a very big impact on our family. Was it dramatic? Yes. Was it unusual? Yes, at least for us, because other families is actually doing this as well. But this for us was a big deal. Okay, and so I'm gonna have my special guest to actually join, because he was a very integral part of actually making this happen. And I'm inviting my brother-in-law, Mr. Philip Wells. We both are Phillips. So, and there's a lot of Phillips in our family, so we all sometimes we have to get confused, and so I call him Mr. Wells. Otherwise, I might think I'm talking to myself. So welcome to the show, Philip.
Thank you, man.
Oh, righty there.
Glad to be here.
All right. So as we go into this second part, I'd like to thank you for Mr. Wells for joining us, because we want you guys to consider doing what we're doing, because sometimes in order to make a change, you got to do something very, very dramatic in order to take that major, what we call that major leap forward in your family, in your business, or whatever it might be. But before I ask Wells to say a few things, I got something I want you to think about. If you take a moment and look back at the last 5 years of your life, right? Take a minute. If you look back 5 years ago, and my question is, did you achieve what you wanted to achieve these past 5 years? For example, did you start that business that you want to start? Right? Did you get that college degree? Did you get out of debt? Did you take that dream vacation that you always wanted? Whatever the case might be, did you do that? And if the answer is no, unless you do something different, in many cases very dramatically different, the next 5 years is going to look like the last 5 years. Okay? Quote from my mentor down in Dallas. So unless you do something differently, don't expect anything different to change. Okay? So that's what we were saying. We was on our way. We was driving with our family vision, but we saying we need to speed this up. We need to accelerate this. So what our family did, we made a decision. There's a few members in our family. We made a decision to actually come together all under one roof in order to achieve our family vision in a much, much shorter period of time. Is everyone willing to do that? No. Okay. But sometimes somebody has to be willing to do something that you never thought you would do. Okay. So one of the things that we did was we've actually had there's 5 family members involved in 3 different households initially. And we're glad that Mr. Wells is here, because I'm going to let you share with him, because of our family vision and what we wanted to achieve, our family vision, which is the Oasis. If you read our book, you know what our family vision is. Okay. Mr. Wells and his wife Marilyn moved from Mississippi to Minnesota for a family vision. Okay, so think about that. So now I want to share with Mr. Wells, one, well, why in the world would you move from Mississippi, okay, where the weather is great, you don't have to worry about all of this, to Minnesota? And I'm going to let you just him share with your own words. We're just happy that Mr. Wells is here. He's a member of our board with Generation Power Enterprises. He's a retired veteran of the United States Marine Corps. That is not much that Mr. Wells can do. I'm just happy to call him my brother. Okay, so Mr. Wells, why did you do what you did?
Well, the first thing, when people always ask me, why did I move to Minnesota? Well, the first thing is I tell them, I says, I moved to Minnesota because the vision drove me to Minnesota. Oh. Now, in order for people to understand that, it's hard for them to understand that a vision will drive you somewhere. But our vision had started moving, and it started overwhelming us so that we had to make a drastic change. We couldn't continue to follow on the path that we were following on and accomplish the goal that our family vision was trying to accomplish without somebody having to make a sacrifice for the vision.
Sacrifice.
Okay, now, in order for that sacrifice to be made, somebody has to be willing to do it.
That's right.
And the opportunity has to be right. Okay, the opportunity was right. I was retired, so income wasn't a great problem, even though we all know everybody's going to have income problems no matter what. You're always going to have income problems until you fix that problem. Until your vision fixes that problem. That's right. You're going to have income problems. So with that being said, I was able to move up here.
Yes, and I'm so glad.
To help the vision get accomplished, I was the person that was freed up enough to be able to move. My wife at first, she was kind of skeptical, about moving from Mississippi to Minnesota
Mm.
because of the weather, because of how the distance is between us. We're not going to be where our children are all the time. Now our children are in Mississippi and we're in Minnesota. But our children understood that we were moving because of the vision.
Amen. That's right.
So if the vision gets accomplished, then eventually we are all under one roof now. We can consolidate our bills. We can begin to move forward, financially. We can begin to move forward toward the end goal, which is the oasis, which is our family vision getting accomplished. Now, think about this. If I'm here, now I'm with my family. Okay, if something happens to me now, or something happens to Philip now,
Mhm.
okay, now I'm here to help him. They're here to help me.
Yes,
Our
that's
family
right.
is here to help each other now. Because, as you get older, you need your family members around you, whether you think you do or not. You better have somebody around you that loves you, that
That's right.
cares about you,
That's right.
that will help you take care of yourself. Okay, I got people here now that I'm with. They can help me. They can help me if something goes wrong, if something goes awry in my life,
That's
if
right.
something goes awry in my family's life, in my children's life. I have people I can call on now. I have a reference here. If something goes wrong in my business, I have a reference right here. Somebody I can put my hand on and say, "Hey, Philip, can you help me out?
That's right.
Can you do this? Can you do that?" That's what the vision is all about. And making that sacrifice, it was hard, yeah. But now, after making it, it was pretty easy. It was an easy transition. The transition was very easy. We
Yes.
moved up here. We moved in. We got everything settled. Everything began to work out just right. We began to accomplish a whole lot of things. I didn't even think we'd accomplish all the things we had to accomplish.
That's right.
In the short amount of time that we've accomplished.
That's right.
And we
Right.
really accomplished a lot. And now it's paying off now. We're getting ready to move into the next phase of our vision.
That's right.
And in
Right.
order for that to happen, a few people in our family had to make a sacrifice. And I was one of those people to help the vision get going and get on to the next phase. And now we're about to go into that next phase.
That's right.
Now, we never thought we'd be
Exciting
going into it.
Not this soon.
Not this soon.
That's right.
But
Not this soon.
the only way that happened was I made the sacrifice, and my wife made the sacrifice, and a couple of more family members have made the sacrifice. Like even our brother-in-law down in Georgia, he came up to work some things out that we needed worked out, and it worked out so well.
That's right.
I mean, it just worked out so well. So just remember this. People are always going to tell you you can't work with your family, you can't live with your family. Don't believe that. That's a myth. Because I live with my family, right? I live with my in-laws. Think about that. I'm not living with my brother. Well, now Philip and I are closer now than me and my brothers. But
Right.
before that, he was my brother-in-law.
That's right.
Okay, now it's not that anymore.
That's right.
That's out of the picture. That's way out of the picture now. Things have gotten now so that now, I need him, he needs me, we need each other, the family needs us, so the vision needs us. The vision needs us to continue to do what we do.
That's right.
I mean, even though sometimes it gets hard, you're always thinking this and that and this, but that's neither here nor there. The vision will continue to drive you. It'll continue to get you to where you need to be. Once your family vision gets started,
That's right.
once you contact that first family member and say, "Hey, we need to get a family vision. We need to get our vision started." Once that happens, once you make that commitment, you better believe the vision is going to start to push you and drive you into another direction.
Whew.
And it drove
That's right.
us to Minnesota.
That's a long drive.
That's a long drive. That is a long drive. But it drove us to Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're so happy, and I just wanted you guys just to hear personally from it. And never did I thought when our parents passed the vision on down to the G2s that we would be actually sitting here and all the things that has actually happened has come true. Are we there yet? No. Do we have a long ways to go? Yes. But we are going at it at a much faster pace now.
Yes.
And even more family members are also involved in it.
Yes.
And what we're saying is if we can do it,
You can
do it,
you can do it.
you can do it too. So sometimes you have to think out of the box. Sometimes you have to do something very dramatic, not just a little dramatic, sometimes something very dramatic in order to take a major, major leap forward.
Yes.
Okay, we wonder why our life don't change. We wonder why we don't accomplish this. We waiting for the system to do this. We waiting for the system to do that. Don't worry about the system. The Lord is the system. Create the family vision, and then start rolling on it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
We've done things, we've traveled now places that we never thought we would go. Thank you to all the family members,
Yes.
all across the country who help us in all aspects. We just happen to be the two that you're seeing today, but there's a lot of people, a lot of family members that's behind us too.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? So we're just very, very happy. So I thought it was very important for Mr. Wells to come on today, okay, so you can actually see, step it out on faith and making that big change. So we challenge everyone, if you got a vision, if you have a dream, sometimes you have to do something major, right? You plan for it, like you said, he was ready, he planned, we talked about it, okay? So it wasn't exactly spur of the moment. There was a lot of discussion,
Yes.
talk about it, and planning that actually took place.
Yes.
Okay, so there's and you can make it work. We actually got a section in our book that gives you tips on how living with family members and how you can actually make it work.
Yes.
Okay, so the things that we have learned. So we're excited, like Will said, we're excited to moving into the next phase. And like we said, if you can do it, if we can do it, so can you.
Yes.
So can you. So those are the two things we wanted you to share. If you got any other questions for us, please email us, follow us on Facebook, which is where we are. We also got a website. If your family needs some tools, needs some resources for building your family vision, go to our website at vision-drivenfamily.com, and we will be happy to help you. Okay? So thank you for another great great show for today. Have my first guest, my brother Philip, and we're just so excited
Yes.
about everything that the Lord has done for us and all the books. I want to thank you, everyone who has purchased
Yes.
our books, who continues to buy our books, and everything. Continue to support us. Everyone who's attended our Family Vision workshops. We got some more workshops coming up, family board training workshops. We're getting into the church board training workshops, the spiritual gifts workshop, a lot of things that's going to be happening under the Vision Driven Family Institute. So with that said, my name is Philip Porter, and I'm a family leadership coach. This is my brother Philip Wells, a family leadership coach. He's also the Chief Operating Officer of our company. And on behalf of the Vision Driven Family Institute, we say where dreams are welcome and family visions come true. Thank you and have a great resurrection weekend. Bye-bye.